from a personal journey, this was something that you, and from the interviews I've read, you went through a lot of soul searching, you went through a lot of therapy. Is this something that...
Not a lot of therapy.
Well, what does that mean?
I wasn't that crazy. I was just pissed off. Anyway, go ahead.
But I think it was interesting what you said. You said that your father was a primary concern of yours. Could you elaborate on that a little more?
Well, my father had already been through, I mean, he'd been through the sex book and all the other, you know, the MTV awards rolling around the floor and the grave and the Truth or Dare. And, you know, he worked a regular job, like, you know, and he's an engineer at Chrysler Defense and then for General Dynamics. And, you know, he had to go to work one day after Playboy and Penthouse came out and know that his buddies had bought this magazine and seen his daughter naked. I mean, that's what I call discomfort, you know. And beyond that, all the other things. And that's the last thing that I wanted to do, is to cause him any pain. And my stepmother, who, you know, she was very unkind to and has been in the public. It's, you know, aside from telling the story, it was important to me to let Madonna know that the words and the actions don't just disappear once you say them. They affect people, and, you know, people can be hurt by them, and especially people like my stepmother. And, you know, those words hurt. They don't just vanish into, you know, after you've said them in an interview, you know, or outing me, for example. I mean, those kind of things don't just disappear. It affects people.
Madonna, in a heartfelt gesture of reconciliation, invited her terminally ill younger brother, Christopher Ciccone, to live with her at her Los Angeles home during his final months. Christopher, who passed away at 63 from pancreatic cancer, had endured a complex relationship with his famous sister over the years. However, as his health declined, their bond was repaired, and Madonna took on the role of his primary caregiver. According to a lifelong friend, Ciccone had been living under Madonna's care for over a year before his death, receiving the best possible medical attention and support. Despite their once strained relationship, Madonna spared no expense in ensuring her brother had everything he needed during his battle with cancer. Their relationship had been marred by public and private tensions, including a notable clash when Madonna publicly outed her brother as gay in a 1991 interview with The Advocate. Christopher expressed frustration over the years about Madonna's larger-than-life persona and her treatment of him. These feelings were evident in his 2008 memoir, Life with My Sister Madonna, where he recounted years of feeling overshadowed by her fame and hurt by her behavior. One particular event that widened the rift between the siblings occurred in 2001 when Madonna hired someone else to direct her world tour. Christopher, who had often collaborated with her creatively, was left feeling betrayed, leading to a significant fallout. In his memoir, he shared his deep resentment, describing Madonna as an evil queen and lamenting that he had sacrificed much of his life to support her, only to be met with disrespect. He conveyed a sense of frustration over years of enduring her ego and what he saw as her declining taste and detachment from reality. However, despite these years of bitterness and estrangement, the death of their older brother, Anthony Ciccone, in February 2023 served as a turning point for the family. Anthony's death from throat cancer brought the siblings closer together, and Madonna and Christopher began to heal their relationship. According to the source, this period of grief became an opportunity for reconciliation, with Madonna and Christopher finding common ground in their shared loss. They became inseparable during Christopher's final months, with Madonna doing everything in her power to make him comfortable as his condition worsened. Christopher's battle with cancer was long and grueling, with his health steadily declining over the course of the last year. The friend noted that while Christopher initially fought valiantly against his illness, the physical pain eventually became unbearable. In his final days, he had come to accept his fate, reaching a point where he was ready to let go. Although it was an incredibly difficult time for his loved ones, they took solace in knowing that Christopher was no longer suffering. Madonna and her family were deeply heartbroken by his passing, but they were also relieved that his pain had come to an end. Throughout his life, Christopher had explored various creative fields, including dance, design, and art. In his later years, art became a refuge for him, providing comfort during his darkest days. In the last year of his life, painting was particularly therapeutic, helping him cope with his illness. While he may have lived in the shadow of his superstar sister, those who knew Christopher well recognized that he had carved out his own unique path. Despite their past conflicts, Christopher was always deeply proud to be Madonna's brother, and this pride remained evident throughout his life. Following his death, Madonna took to Instagram to share a heartfelt tribute to her brother, posting multiple images and reflecting on their complex relationship. She acknowledged that Christopher had been the closest person to her for much of her life, a bond that was difficult to explain but rooted in their shared experiences of being different from societal norms. Madonna recalled how they had supported one another through the chaos of their childhood, finding solace in each other as they navigated a world that often didn't understand them. Though they had gone through periods of not speaking, Madonna explained that when Christopher fell ill, they found their way back to each other. She admitted that the last few years had been challenging, but she did everything in her power to keep him alive for as long as possible. In a poignant moment of reflection, Madonna recounted how they once again held hands in his final days, just as they had during their youth, and how they danced through the difficulty of his illness. Madonna's tribute highlighted the emotional journey she had gone through with her brother, from their deep connection in childhood to their painful estrangement, and finally, to their reconciliation in his final years. She expressed gratitude that Christopher was no longer in pain, acknowledging the peace he had finally found. In her closing remarks, Madonna spoke of how there would never be anyone quite like Christopher, confident that he was dancing somewhere now, free from the suffering that had plagued his final days. This period of reconciliation and care marked a significant chapter in both Madonna and Christopher's lives. It underscored the power of familial love even after years of discord. Their story, marked by both love and conflict, ultimately ended in a place of peace and connection, with Madonna reflecting on the enduring bond they shared despite the ups and downs of their relationship. Christopher's passing serves as a reminder of the complex nature of family relationships, especially when intertwined with fame, personal struggles, and time. Though they had once been estranged, the siblings were able to come together in the end, finding comfort in their shared history and a love that had withstood the tests of time and adversity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.